It's evening coffee this time. I've been busy. I've also been rethinking this whole thing. Maybe my guest has a point. It's not like I'm talking about any popular subject. It's not like I have anything that I can teach. Because the kinds of things I've been saying, everybody knows. Everybody knows. And I'm too weird for prime time. Yeah, that's definitely coming to a forefront. I'm just not like normal people. So you got to see me be all kinds of different ways. Those are my happy ways. You get to see me read, and that's what I want to do. I want to read. I think I'm going to just dedicate myself to reading various books of all kinds of subjects. I've got subjects, I got subjects on propaganda. I've got subjects on Psychology Revolution by Gustav Le Bon. That's an excellent book. I've got all kinds of source material of education, and I got all kinds of religious books too. Each one of them had something to show me. But as for trying to express the message of non-duality, yeah, I've done the best I can. And I keep falling back into the realm of two things: opinion, and the second thing is, as I went back, let me backtrack a bit. I've been teaching the lesson of taking ownership of your consciousness, of your conscious awareness, and directing what you do with how you intake and how you perceive. You can work with that shit. But anyway, I've been teaching that lesson for a long time, and the people in my life cannot receive the power of that. It's difficult, it's hard, they don't even know that they can do that. And it's frustrating on my part, and it causes me to become quite attached to that. And that's not getting me anywhere. You understand? It makes me think, oh, I'm making these videos with a purpose, and I'm not trying to have a purpose. There's nothing that I can show you. I can only show you that you can see it for yourself. And you don't need a lot of videos to do that. Not with me speaking anyway. Well, not with me speaking from myself. So forget my instruction, forget my interpretation. We're not going to talk about that anymore. We're going to just read books. I'm just going to read books. And this channel could be called like Grandmother's Library. It's sort of like my Minecraft shit just all come together, and this is the library that we built. And just like that, I live in my poor little hovel alone. And this is what it's like being alone and being spiritual. I joined a little Discord that had come up at some person's YouTube channel, and he's talking about New Age stuff, how to overcome this and that and the third. I don't want to be direct, because I'm not trying to challenge or deny or not say he doesn't have a good thing to do. I'm just saying that those people aren't ready for Zen, and he wants to start a Zen temple, and I think or a Zen center, and I think to myself, maybe I'm too harsh, you know. Maybe I've been hanging out with these big boys for a while. They're in college. In fact, I couldn't even possibly be reading something out of this to my current pretend audience, which is currently my son and my grandchild. So basically, they're not watching anyway. So I couldn't possibly read this stuff to have you guys understand it, or talk about half of the understandings that can come from it. Well, so I'm going to start from basics. I'm going to start mysticism light, as well as the critical thought, the critical examination that we'll find in such books as Propaganda by Edward Bernays, the Guru Papers by, can't remember their names, but guess what? I wrote about them somewhere on my blog, which contains all of my thought, even the delusions, from an objective kind of viewpoint. Even while subjectively going through them, I wrote the experiences. So basically, it doesn't have to be on video, my trying to express that it can be done, that you can overcome. You can overcome yourself. What I understand is that I'm at college telling students that they can do trigonometry. That's why we want to go back in time, back to when I began to learn how to sort my own self. And all the books I've been mentioning and talking about are all the things that went in to my growing up and sorting myself. Oh, but I'm so weird, you say. I'm so strange. Who would what, be like that? You don't have to be like that. I'm autistic. I'll be like me. Basically, what I had to learn is the same thing you have to learn. What's broken in you was broken by somebody. And what you have, how you've learned to cope, how you've learned to deal and to live, these things make your personality. They make you what you love about yourself and what you hate about yourself. Basically, if they broke me, my family broke me, like my mother and my father, my husband, and the people outside of my marriage trying to come in and bust it up, the internal struggles within the relationship, the depression. It's not like I'm not where you are. It's not like I'm anywhere different than where you are. I've been so depressed that that's the reason why I'm making this video today, to kind of disavow myself before you of any kind of pretense of trying to be a teacher or have a special message, or that or even maybe to apologize that I was just so into myself. But you know, my guest made me realize how incredibly odd, unwanted, that I am. And I will have to live my life consigned in that solitude. I'm unwanted, and I always have been. But yet, people who want to be free from their own selves seek the advice of persons who suffered through and became weird. So, it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Anyway, I'm not trying to meander. I'm also trying to defend myself, and also realizing that not a single soul for years to come will even look at any part of this video. So therefore, I disavow myself of any creation or aspiration or desire to express or anything, and go back to the root cause. What is the reason I'm making the video? A record of a life, just one little life, being a person in a space where they can be themselves and love their broken self. And I am broken. Patch robe. I'm all patch robed up. But I've been working on myself for a long time, and I've been working on myself since childhood. I was never anybody's special person. I was never loved. Not for myself. So it was really hard for me to find myself. So I guess that's why I'm so attached to trying to be with somebody. The only problem is I live in isolation, and a lot of these things that you see that you might interpret as symptoms of my insanity are the symptoms of prolonged isolation. So this is just a way to communicate, even though there's nobody to communicate with on a daily basis or a free basis or a basis wherein they're connected to me as a human being. I don't experience those things, and I don't think it's because I'm deficient. I think it's because everybody's shut off. And it's very rare that you get a genuine human-to-human connection of understanding. Listen, there are all kinds of commercials all over YouTube about it. Oh, BetterHealth.com says, "Why do I feel so lonely?" And the dude he's talking to says, "What do you want for pizza?" We are shallow. At any rate, cutting that thought off. I want us to be better, but I practice non-duality. Where is the us that wants to be better? So, let's just do this. Let's just read these books. And we're just going to live on the fantasy. Someday, somewhere, somehow, somebody's going to stumble across this or be curious about it. Whatever, not this one. This one, no views. Probably like the last couple. One of the books I read, they're going to love it. They're going to love one of the books I read, because it's going to give them some insight on how to deal with themselves. And it's not me doing it. My only action as a humble purveyor of great knowledge is to read it with my beautiful, sexy voice. Ooh, and intone it with my beautiful expression of emotion. And make the characters with my beautiful ability to make voices. Am I too vain? Nah. I'm not too vain. Because then somebody will remember me and go, I know that person. She used to be able to do that. Anyway. Life 101. And we're going to cut this video off. I'm not going to start reading. I'm not going to start reading it until the next video, so I can make a playlist. And there will be playlists for all my books. And I'm not going to do them in any particular order of graduation, education level, topic or subject. It's going to be a little random like me. So hey, maybe the next book will be an entire book of words you won't understand. And neither do I. I understand a lot of them, but some of them I just don't know. And I think it's all cultural metaphor. Those books I'll read from the introduction Basically, you'll have the same education I do. Well, you'll have less than me because I read more books. I could only carry so many when I left to become a hermit. So, that's about that. 15, 20. Okay, lots of minutes gone. Time to go. So, we're just going to do some recordings of reading out loud. And that way, when I am old, I'll be able to read my own books again. To me! Or maybe I'll get smart enough to read them and then memorize what I've read, and then when somebody wants to have an argument with me, I can timestamp. I like that. That's a great idea. Boom. Grandma's library. That's the next thing on our crazy insanity Zendo. Bye.